Hey everybody, Wrenching with Bob here, and I'm going to do a fairly quick take here on the WR250R. We're going to change the spark plug out, which requires a few things to get in there, to take it out and gap it and replace it, all that jazz. So we'll do that today.
Sun's up, tools out, got some work to do. Grease on my hands is nothing new. Bolts turn, gears grind, spark plugs fire. Wrenching with Bob, fixing what you ride. Tighten it up, tune it just right. Rolling that throttle, let's ride tonight, tonight. Oh, it's wrenching time. Giving your bike a brand new shine. From oil to wires, clutch to tires. Wrenching with Bob, keep your ride alive.
All right, so here's the patient. Got a 2009 WR250R, and this is my wife's bike. And as you can see here, it's a BMW F250 GS. No, really, it's a WR250R. She likes to play little games. So anyway, first things first. So we're gonna take the seat off, and the seat comes off by a couple of bolts up underneath here. Bolts here and here, whoops, here, and these are 8mm. Believe it or not, if somebody stole your 10mm, it's not going to hurt here. And then after we do that, then we're going to have to take the fairing pieces off here, and we'll have to take the tank off. The tank will have to come off, or at least partially off, and get lifted up in order to get to the plug that's underneath. So with the seat taken off, we can get down to business here with the fuel tank and the fairings. So fairings are at least going to have to be released here and here. A big Phillips for here, at least for mine. And this is a hex 5mm that's going to go here, as well as on the top side here that connects to right where the neck is, down in there, is also 5mm. So we'll take those off. All right, so now the fairings are kind of trapped, is the deal, right? So this one traps this one. Whoops, this one, F250 GS, don't forget, traps this one here. And I believe that just pulls out. Yep, so that just pulls out of its spot down there. You can see those plastic hold ends. And we'll do the same thing over here. We'll see how that goes. All right, so that's out. And then we'll remove the 5mm up here. The fairings are gonna have to come off. That's a kind of a pain. So the right side fairing is a little different than the left. There's a bolt up here in the fins for the radiator, and then another one down there. Mine may be non-standard here. I think there's been a little bit of replacing over the years. And then on this side, there's one hiding deep inside there, about where my index finger is pointing to, that you may or may not be able to see with enough light, and then another one down at the bottom in similar fashion to the on the right side. I'll remove those, and we'll see how the fairing looks. This black shroud has to actually come off entirely in order to get to a nut that connects the fairing to the rest of the bike. And you want to keep these two separate from each other. They are both 5mm on the top, and I think the threading is probably the same, but the bottom one is quite a bit longer than the top one. If you can see that, right? The bottom one's the long one, short one's the top one. There's a little finagling to be done, because there's a hook. There's a hook that goes in here and slides in right in here and then tips into place. And this part actually just slides off. This part's just trapped in here where the bolt was. So, all right, So there's the left fairing. Again, 5 millimeters. For these two bolts, again, the longer of the two is the bottom one. And I just have to finagle a bit to get these guys out of there without breaking them. And then slide it off. I did actually put some wood blocks under the stand just to stand the bike up proud and not leaned over like it was. But basically the patient that we're looking at down here is down underneath. The patient we're looking for is down here. You can see my finger wiggling inside of there. And that's where the spark plug goes down in. And that's the coil that goes down into where the plug is. So, and you can't really get to it here. You've got a radiator hose in the way, and then maybe some oil sump or something up back behind it. So you got to get to it from underneath the tank. And so I think I'm just going to lift the tank up and see if I can disconnect the clip. There's a clip that that you'll see once it's out that that holds that coil in place, or makes it so you can't get the coil out, basically. So you got to undo the clip, pull the coil out, and then you can get to the plug. All right, this is with me lifting the tank off. So you can see that there's a little plug clip there, right in the center, or center right. That's what I just removed by squeezing it and then inching its way out. And then the circular part there with the connector on it, that's the coil. That's got to come out next, and then I can get to the plug. Here's the coil that came out. There's the connector that had to be taken out. You can see that's what you were seeing from the top. So there's the connector, and basically this was just a wiggle, 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 and pull to get get this seal here to break free. Really wasn't that hard, and came out pretty nicely without too many curse words or anything. So the next part is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the spark plug, and spark plug claims to be a 5/8 inch socket, and you want to put a socket extender on that in order to get down in there, because it is well, you saw the length of the coil, right? So that goes up to the head, and so you're going to need to be able to get in there with a 5/8 and pull it out. And do take some care to take a look for dirt and stuff like that, that you don't wind up with dirt falling down into the head. That would be bad. So the spark plug's out. Item to note though, spark plugs are deep. So this is not a normal socket, right? This is a deep socket that's intended for spark plugs. And so in fact, this actually has a swivel on it. Nice little tool to have hanging around in the garage. I'd completely forgotten that I even had it, but this is all one unit from here all the way to the tip of the 5/8 is one unit, and it swivels so that you can get in there and get a little turning action going on without having exactly the space and the room and everything that you want and need. And you can see that yes, indeed, it's spark plug time. Two other nice things to have is dielectric grease. This will go on the actual ceramic portion of the plug, and the other item is anti-seize lubricant. Stuff's usually gray-ish, silverish, and this will go on the threads of the plug lightly, just so that with all the heat cycling that goes on in there, plugs can sometimes get kind of fused almost into the plug socket, and that becomes a real nightmare for the motor if it really is a problem. So anyway, another reason to change your plugs at 7,000 miles or so on a small bike like this. Next item here is on the new spark plug is gapping the spark plug. So there on the left hand side you can see that I've got a 0.025 to 0.027 inch. The spec calls for 0.024 to 0.028. So I'm in there, and I have made sure that those two little wings going to the plug electrode are fitting snugly in the edge of the feeler gauge. And so at this point I'm ready to put some anti-seize on there and dielectric grease and stick it in the socket, and try not to cross thread it when you're going in, and put it in, and we'll give a torque spec here in a few minutes when I get to that point. All right, so at this point I put the plug in the socket, just snugged it in, and then now this torque wrench I'm going to set to 13 Newton meters, tighten it to that spec, and then I'll reinstall the coil and reinstall the clip on the coil and reassemble. So one other notable item is I'm trying to be really good about when I'm lifting the tank and doing the work with the right hand, that I'm not setting the tank down on the hoses and stuff that go to the fuel pump, so that hard parts are actually sitting on hard parts instead of risking winding up with a leak in one of the fuel hoses. So trying to be careful about that. Please try and do that yourself. The other spec that's worth mentioning here is the type of spark plug it is, and this is an NGK CR9EK. That's the spec per the manual, and that's what I bought. It cost me like $10. So I bought two of them, one for my bike and one for hers. So I'll do mine after we finish up a trip here soon. All right, so at this point of the game, coil's in and the clip is on. The electrical clip for that is on. There's a nice satisfying click to that when it goes on. And so now the tank is sitting back down there, and it's ready to be bolted on. But at this point, now's the time, before you go putting everything on, to turn the key and give it a try. Make sure that it starts and things, generally sound right, or maybe better than before. And then after that, you're done. There's a spark plug change, and you're good for probably 7,000 miles. And if you do a lot more highway driving, you can probably get more out of that. If you're doing a lot more trail slow riding, then maybe 5,000 or something. So that's the recommendation. Thanks. Wrench for Bob, and thanks for checking it out, and like and subscribe.